Hello guys, welcome back. So today I'm gonna tell you guys that how to add images and links in your web page. So these two elements are really important as we have frequent use of them, links and images. So before starting, I wanna give you guys a little concept about IDs and classes. That how can we give an ID to our element. So for this, let's introduce a paragraph. Wait a minute. Why do I have to introduce a paragraph? Let's make it. Okay. So I'm making a paragraph over here. And ID is basically the attribute of the element. I mean this tag. So ID always come in the starting tag with the name ID. And let's give it an ID of text1. Now this ID can be used in many ways, like if we want to style our paragraph, so we will use this ID to style our paragraph in CSS, and we can also link to this paragraph. Today we're gonna learn about links, so I'll show you that how to link to this paragraph. So there is one more thing, that is class. You can also give a class to an element. So class basically means that there can be many elements, so you can give one class name to different elements. So let's say P, and I'm gonna give it a class let's say red paragraphs. I'm gonna copy these paragraphs, and what you can do, so now we have 3 paragraphs. I'm not adding content in between. So what we can do, that if we want to style all of these paragraphs with same styling, like if we want to keep if we want the color of these paragraphs to be red, so we can just only do it by calling it once, so all of the paragraphs will become red. If we'll change its color in CSS by calling the class name red paragraphs, then all of the paragraphs will be red. The first one, the text1 ID paragraph, will not be red because it doesn't have a class red paragraphs. So this is the concept of IDs and classes. So I'm gonna remove it and move towards links and images. But before that, I'm gonna give my page a title. Links and images, obviously. Links and images. Okay, there you go. I have already saved my page, and if you don't know how to save a page, HTML page, then you can go to my previous video, which is tutorial 1, and you guys can get to know from there. Okay, moving towards our images. So you can add image to your web page by the tag called image, which is this. And the main thing about this tag is that this is the single tag. I mean, there is no ending tag of this. There are many HTML tags which doesn't have ending tag, so image is one of them. Image has a very important attribute called source, so where we give the path to our image whichever we want to display on our web page. So let's give this image a source. I'm gonna give it the name of the image over here, and let's see, I have this image on over here, so I'm gonna give it its name. It is smiley.png. So let's save this and open this file in browser. Here you go. It's really looking nice. So one thing we can do to our image is that we can give it a size, and we do that with 2 attributes. One is width and other is height. So let's give this image the width of 200 and height 200. Okay, now let's save it and refresh the page and look at this. Wow, maybe I should give it a more width. Yep, that looks great. So one more thing about this source attribute over here is that it always looks for the image in the same folder. So if your image is in another folder, then it's not gonna show it. The path to that folder should be correct. So let's see. Let's put this image in a images folder. I put this in the images folder, and let's see if it works or not. Yep, look at this. It's not displaying the picture because it cannot find it in the folder, same folder. So now we have to give it the correct path. So first give your folder name, images, and then you need to add the slash, just like the path. Okay, now refresh our page, and there you go. So your path should be correct. So moving towards our links. Links are used basically when you want to link your web page to some other page, or you want to show some other HTML page. So these links are very helpful. So let's start. Link is defined by a tag A, starting and ending tag. And it has a very main attribute, which is ref, where we give the link to our page. We give the path over here. So I'm gonna leave this blank and I'm gonna add the content. This is our link. So let's save it and refresh the page. So here you go. It just looks like a link because the text is underlined and it's blue, just like a link. So click it. It's not working right now because we didn't give it a path. So let's give it a path. I'm gonna link our page to Google. So I'm gonna give it a Google link. You need to give a proper link, like with HTTPS, otherwise it won't work. So let's save it and refresh the link, and there you go. And if we want to give it this path, like if we only write www.google.com, then it's not gonna work. Let's refresh the page. Look at this. It's shown that the file is not found. So it's very important that you give the correct path. Now you can also link this to some HTML file, which means that when we're gonna click on the link, the HTML file is gonna open. So let's do it. I'm gonna use my previous file that I used in my previous video, my web page. It's already open here. So I'm gonna link this to my HTML file, and make sure that your file is in the same folder, as I already told you that your path should be correct. So my file is in the same folder. I'm gonna give it a path and refresh the page. So when I'll click on this link, it's gonna show me that HTML file. Look at this, that we created before. So what I have done here is that I have linked my second page to my first page. So this is pretty cool. You guys can see, it's pretty cool. Now another cool thing that we can do with these two tags is that we can make this image a link. So what I have to do for this, that I have to place this image tag in between the link. So I'm gonna cut it from here and copy in between the link tags, so the image will become a link. Look at this. So I'm gonna save it and refresh my browser. and when I'll click, look at this, we get this pointing hand over here, which means that this is now a link. So when I'll click on that, we'll get that page over here. So that's pretty cool as well. Now one last thing that we can do with our link is that we can link our link to some other element, and we're gonna use IDs for that, the concept I told you before. So I'm gonna make a paragraph and give it an ID. First make this and add dummy text. So I have put a dummy text over there. So this is the lorem ipsum, the official dummy text that's used normally in websites. So you can easily get it from Google. So I'm gonna copy these paragraphs so that I can get a lot of content in my web page, and a scroll bar. Copy, 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 copy. Okay, now that's enough, I think. And I'm gonna give my, first of all, let's refresh it and see what I get. Look at this. This is the lorem ipsum generator. I got it from like Google. So refresh it over here, and we get this scroll bar and then image, which is a link. So right now it's linked to our previous page, but let's link it to this first paragraph over here, this paragraph. So what it's gonna do, it's when we'll click on this link, it's gonna take us to the top of this paragraph. So let's do it, and let's give this the ID paragraph, ID of text 1. And now what we have to do is we have to give the path to this paragraph, and we do that by adding a hash. Whenever we need to call an ID, we need to call it with hash and then the ID name. So we have linked our image to this first paragraph over here, you guys can see. So let's refresh your browser, refresh it. Okay, so now I'm gonna click on this link and it's gonna take us to the top of our page. Here you go. So it's basically taking us to this paragraph over here. So we can also link our images or something like that to another elements. So that's also cool. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, and see you in the next video.